All right, so you're probably a small creator and you're probably struggling right now because you have a low amount of views and you feel a little bit stuck because you don't know where to take your channel. You don't know what to do. You don't have the analytics to tell you what to do. And I know that can be frustrating because when you don't have those analytics, you feel like you're missing out on something. You feel like unless you get thousands and thousands of views, then you're not gonna know what to do. And I think we all want our videos to perform well, but you can't really control that. We can't really say for certain if our videos are going to get thousands of views or if the next day they're gonna get 10 views. Because I was in that same predicament. When I first started this channel, I had tens of thousands of views. Some of my videos have reached 60,000 views. And because of that, I thought it was always gonna be like that. I thought I was always gonna have those analytics. I thought I was always gonna have those views coming in. But slowly but surely, I realized that I could not stay consistent with that. Like I just couldn't stay consistent with my videos. So my views started to drop and drop. And I went from being able to see who my audience was watching, when they were watching, and all these other analytics to being able to see barely anything. And then I noticed that I started to get myself in the mindset of, okay, once I get back to tens of thousands of views, then I'll be able to learn what I need to do, where I need to go, and what my audience actually wants. But then it started to take me longer than I thought to get back to those views. And I know now that YouTube is a very long-term game. So I had to change up my strategy to be able to compensate for not having a lot of views all the time, because at the end of the day, you really can't control that. So if you're in that spot also, here are some things that we can do to always stay motivated and to always be able to learn from every single video. Firstly, the thing that I started doing was paying attention very closely to some specific stats. You're not always gonna be able to learn from every stat if you have low views, but one of the stats that I always pay attention to is my like to view ratio. So if you have a lot of likes versus a lot of views on your video, then that probably means that it's going to be a very good video. If you just keep track of that on every single video, you'll be able to see when it's more likely that a video is going to hit big. Another thing that you can also pay attention to is your average view duration. So despite how many views you have, if you're having a good average view duration, chances are that you're engaging your audience and you're going to be able to continue to engage them in the future. So I know it can feel a little bit tough when you don't have those views, but if you just pay attention to even increasing your average view duration by 10 seconds or 5 seconds, whatever you can do little by little, you're gonna build up that momentum and eventually you're gonna have a very, very high view duration. And the next thing that I've been doing is just testing everything for these stats. So now that you know and you have some stats that you can focus on, just test everything that you can to improve these stats. So what I've been doing for my average view duration right now is just trying a whole bunch of things for that. Just trying a whole bunch of ways to write my hooks, a whole bunch of different ways to script my videos, to talk on camera, whatever I can do. I'm trying it all out and seeing how it's working. And then I'm keeping track of that stat so that I know if it's working or if I need to try something else. So when you have that and you're testing these new things, it doesn't matter how a video performs. If you even have 10 views, you can base all these new things that you're trying off of that. And even if a video has 10 views, you know that it probably just wasn't a good video. So your videos are basically like a minefield. You're just putting them all out and you're hoping that somebody steps on them and it just blows up and explodes. Like videos just don't blow up for no reason. So just put out a whole bunch of different mines and pay attention to the ones that explode. Try every single thing that you can until eventually one thing stands out and you're able to hone in on that. And then the last thing that you could do with these things is just focus on that continuous improvement. So now that you know that you have these stats and then you have these things that you want to test, just focus on continuously improving off of that. Don't get so honed in on one video or trying to go for the views on that one video. Just continuously improve off of each video. So one of the things that we can mess up is that we hear consistency, we hear just be consistent, but it's not just about consistency, it's about consistently improving. And if you're just doing that, if you're just focusing on not making the mistakes over and over again, like sometimes we can do, and just focusing on improving, fixing your mistakes, and doing that video after video, where do you think you're gonna end up 5 years from now? You're gonna end up in a much better place with much better videos. So that's just some of the stuff that I've been focusing on, but I truly do believe that if we can stay in this game, if we can continue to improve and find those things that are working for us, when we look back 5 years down the line, we are going to be way farther than we ever could have imagined. Our videos are going to be way better and we're gonna be so glad that we did not quit, that we stuck with it. Because there's just some things that I've realized about my videos that I could have never realized were super bad until I got the videos up, saw the feedback, or just saw that it looked ugly once I started watching it. And I really want to see for myself what you guys are able to create if you're able to stick with it, like how much you can improve and how much joy and happiness and value you're going to be able to bring to your audience. But of course, if you want to be able to do that, you have to understand that you cannot master everything at once as a YouTube creator. So if you want to know more about that, then go ahead and click on this video right here.